This is Josiah Plays Torment, Tides of Numenera. Alright, we're here in Ioxu's shanty. And we're going to talk to him because we've already basically talked to him about everything we can talk to him about, but we haven't gone through his shop yet. So that's the actual next order of business. The next oob, as we call it in the industry. Nobody called it that in the industry. Alright.
You disturb me again. What great matter calls for your interruption?
Do you have anything you'd be willing to sell me? He looks around at his cluttered desk.
I do not anticipate the need for these devices any longer. Perhaps they can serve you, Lulu.
Alright, let's see what he's got. He's got concentrated spray flesh. He's got Embrace the All. Permanent +1 training level in concentration. Be still my heart. This is a beetle-like parasite about the size of your hand, with a glossy green carapace. Most of the time it is inert, the only sign of life being a faint vibration. When placed on the skin, it grips the bone with its armored claws and inserts whip-like tendrils into the nervous system, probing the host's brain. This coupling permanently makes the user more mentally attuned to certain artifacts. After a short while, the creature disengages from the brain, releases a cloud of spores invisible to the naked eye, and dies. Alright. That's pretty cool. We also have ourselves an entropic engine, which is a heavy ranged weapon that does a whole lot of ass kicking, and it disrupts people. Once used as a propulsion device, this has been refitted to work as a launcher weapon. Whether either of these are its original purpose, you could not guess. The barrel fires a solid ball of energy, dealing massive damage to the target. We've got another cloak here. Ooh, the Cloak of Faces. Gives you some nice bonuses. Comprised of the thin, stretched-out faces of living alien beings, this cloak has a ghastly appearance. The alien faces have psychic abilities, and they project subtle illusions and hallucinations into the minds of those you meet, making it easier to bend them to your will. These illusions also render the wearer more difficult to detect or target. That's pretty cool, but I think I'm going to stick with the Chuckling Shroud, because, one, that cloak is really expensive, but no, I already get 5% on intellect tasks, so that's already the equivalent of the 5% on intimidation and persuasion. I'd get 10% more on a deception, but do I really need it? I always have like 100% on those checks anyway. I'd lose a little bit of willpower, and I'd lose 3 resistance to gain 15 evasion. No, I don't think I'm going for the Cloak of Faces. I am going to buy this. I might not buy it right this moment, but I'm going to buy it. I'm not going to buy that. Now we've got the Heretic's Fork. Oh, it gives you scan thoughts. What? I gotta resist this. I gotta resist it. I gotta save scan thoughts for my second playthrough. That is really cool that you can get the scan thoughts with this, even if you're not a nano, though. A nondescript piece of coarse metal that reveals the thoughts of those around you. You know, just random thought-revealing fork. No big deal. It extends both forks into the flesh of a user and exudes an air of knowing melancholy. A significant amount of willpower is required to maintain a mental equilibrium under its effects. Alright, so we're going to give that a pass, but that's really cool. Encephalic refined fleet with hyper-elutriative force. Oh, the Ecstasy Paralyzer. It's an intellect gun. Oh, it's an intellect gun. Okay, hold on, let's read about it. The foot-long barrel of this device glows, alternating between different colors when active, and has an organic feel to it. When touched, you also notice it warms up quickly, and a slight vibration can be felt. Hexagonal buttons sit behind a small screen on the top, allowing you to fire a blob of energy that affects the target's mind directly, filling them with overwhelming visions of pleasure. The grip and trigger seem to have been fitted on later, made from a dull gray metal, cold, with a few thick wires running from the top of the grip to the barrel. Despite the striking dissimilarity between the individual parts, the whole assembly is masterfully engineered with a clear purpose in mind. Okay, it does 10 mental damage, plus 2 per effort applied, max plus 10. It's a light weapon, so you get the bonus. It also dazes them, or stuns them on crits. And it's got a medium range. Comparing that to Whispers, Whispers does 4 and 4. But plus 3, so, and 2 more from effort. So that comes out about the same with max effort. Except Whisper's damage is going to be reduced by physical armor and resistance. That's a comforting thought, Nox? Really? I feel like this is a thing I should own in my life. Because it's good. It's good. The Ecstasy Paralyzer. What? It's expensive, though. Then there's the Baton Driver. Air jets along the length of this weapon guide the user's aim toward the user's most vulnerable points. I think it means the targets. So it shoots batons at people? Extra crit chance. Alright, that's pretty nice. It's a light ranged weapon, does 9 damage. Well, it's a hell of a lot better than a buzzer. It'd be a good weapon for Rin. Neuropraxic detonation, so it's another grenade. It's a mental damage grenade that also dazes. A chain of barbed links encircles this pulsating knot of brain tissue. When the chain is broken, the bound psyche inside screams in an overwhelming glee that tears at nearby minds. Wow. That's a crazy grenade. You toss a barbed wire wrapped brain at them, and it fucking screams into their heads and hurts them. There's a fluid armature here. It's an artifact. Gives you some pretty hefty penalties, but it gives you pretty hefty bonuses to resist and armor. At first, this finger-length capsule seems to be made of metal. On closer inspection, it is a pellet of quicksilver contained by an unseen field. Pressing this capsule into the flesh covers a user in a protective subdermal layer that somewhat slows reaction times. This would be really nice to have, especially in combination with this, which would give somebody an extra rank in concentration so that they wouldn't have the negative effects. So really, I want to buy Embrace the All for sure. I want to buy Fluid Armature. I might buy Baton Driver. I might buy Ecstasy Paralyzer. I want to, but I don't know if I will because it's expensive and I don't have that much money. And then the last thing is the Psychic Focus. Another bonded item. Gives you mystical lore, damage on esotery, damage per effort applied, a huge max bonus on esotery attacks. So this is for nanos, really. Gives you some pretty bad negative effects. This coil of flexible azure wire unfolds along a user's body with a pleasurable moan, drawing on their body's intrinsic energy field to improve their esoteric abilities. So this guy's got some cool shit. But I can't really afford any of it right now. That's 400. That's 600. That's 500. And that's almost 400. And all I have is 900 right now, and nothing to sell. Well... I guess I could sell a few things, hypothetically. But I wouldn't get that much for them. Well, I could sell these scriptures to devour, but for now I think I shouldn't. For now I feel like I need to hold on to them. So at the moment, do I want to buy anything? At the actual moment. I say no. I'm saving my money for now until I see what else is available for sale in the rest of the bloom. But I will come back to this guy when I've made more money and buy some of this stuff. I gotta make sure this guy doesn't die now. Because if he dies, and because of the cult or whatever, and I lose all the money, I lose all the options to buy these items, I'll be pretty sad. But we're just gonna trust that it'll be fine. We're just gonna trust that it'll be fine. So now, how do I want to resolve this quest? Is the question. Package and surprise, find them all, yeah. Anathema. Both Inkpot and Ioxu have asked me to deal with the other. Inkpot wants me to stop Ioxu's experiments, and Ioxu wants me to drive Inkpot and the cultists away. If I can't settle this one way or another, it will probably turn to violence between them. Yeah, I want to work this out in a way that's good for both parties, but that's probably not gonna happen. Not sure. Well, I guess the only thing I can do at this point is go back and talk to the cultists and see what new stuff I can talk to him about now that I've talked to Ioxu. And maybe we can work something out. Maybe we can work something out. I love how many skills I have. Okay. Oh yeah, that's why I have invigorating conversation. Because it's an ability of my focus. So if I get a crit success, I completely refill intellect pool. That is so cool. Alright. Let's go talk to the cultists again. I don't think there was anything else to really mess around with in here that we haven't already. Yeah.
Yes, now.
Wait! Oh, I remember the other thing we were gonna maybe do. Which was go talk to Waits for Prey about this construct, or about maybe getting his memory wiped by Ioxu.
Let's go.
Maybe we could get Waits for Prey to kill all the cultists for us. So we'll talk to the cultists, we'll talk to Inkpot, then we'll go talk to Waits for Prey, and we'll see if anything can be done.
Done.
Waits for hay. Nice, Nox. That's you. Just a waiting on that hay. Alright. I like how my total pools are so much higher than everyone else's. She's got 24 total. She's got 15 total. He's got 19 total, but I have a beefy 38 total. Plus I have as much health as Allegorn, tied for best health in the party. Kind of a badass. And I'm bloom juiced. We're in the spirit world, asshole. Alright. Let's go. Inkpot. Inkpot looks up from his scribbling, his crooked mouth shaping itself into the mockery of a smile.
We await your intercession with Ioxu, but our god is in pain, so we will not wait forever.
What are those papers? Those papers again? The holy canon of your faith?
Only a part. Everything written by an extremity is part of the scriptures. Until the writing is lost or destroyed, no one can know all the writings, just as no one can know every part of the ever-changing bloom. If the bloom is really a god, why does it need human help at all?
Frowns, confused.
The need is plain.
Oh, I'm gonna trick him! I'm gonna Socratic dialogue this guy into coming up with the idea that they shouldn't be harassing him without me ever even telling him to. Oh, this is beautiful. I love this shit. He frowns, confused.
Need is plain. Can you look upon the swollen flesh of that house and tell me that a poison doesn't fester inside? Did the bloom ask for your help?
His mouth quivers.
It spoke to me of its need. I heard its voice in my mind.
Alright, do I want to do intimidation or deception? Hold on a second. Alright, I believe you. Oh, I just closed that option off. I was hoping I could go back into it.
If you have doubts, then you should keep them to yourself. We don't want to hear of them again, do we, brothers?
The other cultists vigorously shake their heads. Very well. I just fucked that up. I fucked it up. I just wanted to see something else before I committed to a path there, but then... Hold on, before we talk to him, I'm gonna go over and talk to Waits for Prey real quick first. Real quack? Quack, quack. What the duck am I talking about? I wish you could get a duck as a companion in this game, because then you'd have a party foul. Have a party foul.
Doing begets learning, I guess.
Alright, what's up, Waits for Prey? Let's talk about this. Waits for Prey must know kills in shadow. Yeah, I thought about that, the same thing, Nox. Ah, I can talk to him about it. Construct stands in exactly the same place as before. It does not appear to have moved at all. Faint metallic noises from inside its armor suggest that it is still alive. I saw another construct that looks like you. It's in the house of Ioxu, not far from here.
The last of my sibling comrades, yes. I am aware of its presence in the Tinkerer's house.
Multicolored lights flash from the construct's head in quick and agitated succession.
We came to this place together, two brothers in arms seeking respite from the unrelenting memories that tormented us both. But he chose a different path from mine.
Alright, so I can't really do anything else here with this. Oh, yeah, I can. We're not done here. A different path.
The Tinkerer put his hands in my sibling comrade's brain, pulled the memories out, and with them the mind and the thoughts and the means to think. Now my brother-in-arms is a gutted shell, a scarecrow, standing in the Tinkerer's house to frighten off the Raven men. Thus has he found peace.
The last word is barely a hiss, filled with contempt. Knights for prey hates some peace. Is that so different from what you seek?
It is.
The resonant voice is strong and certain.
I seek to forget my past and start again. In that possibility, no matter how remote, there is hope to leave behind this warrior's life that my makers chose for me. For my brother in arms, there is no hope at all.
Alright, so I can't convince him to go get his mind wiped by Aksu, it doesn't look like. Alright, farewell. A series of lights flash beneath the construct's faceplate, but it makes no audible reply. Alright.
I'll handle it.
Wasn't sure what possibilities existed there with Waits for Prey and Iaksu, but it doesn't look like. There was a little bit of extra dialogue, but no actual developments there. So now we'll go back and talk to Inkpot. Inkpot.
All right, Ren, you can do this.
Inkity ink pot. Now we're gonna bust out some Socratic dialogue on this motherfucker. Or, you know, just some manipulation. I'm actually better at intimidation than I am at deception because of my thing that gives me a bonus to intimidation. Interferes madness. But I think I'll be good enough at either one of them with my 4 intellect edge that I really don't need to worry about it. Alright, Inkpot. Let us, as they say, do this. Alright. So, Foom's God, well, I didn't need help at all. Did the Loom ask for your help? So your god is too weak and impotent to deal with Iaksu itself? That what you're saying? 100% all day longsies. See, the base difficulty is 0%. You start with a 0% chance of succeeding at this. And even with a 0%... Say 0% one more goddamn time, Josiah. Even with a 0%, I have enough bonuses to have a 120% chance to do it. That is amazing. My character is godlike at these tests. All these intellect things. Son! Welcome, son! How you doing? Good to see ya. I'm glad you deigned to join us. Okay. Let's go. That's funny because there's a word called deign, which means, you know, to choose to like sort of choose to do something that may or may not be like below your status or something. I don't know exactly what deign means, but it means to choose to do something anyway, with some sort of connotation. Plus, son is an actual Dane, so see what it's like a pun. It's like a play on words. I'm explaining that to the audience that may be watching that doesn't know. Alright. What does Dane even mean? Really, what does it really mean? Not D-A-N-E Dane, but D-E-I-G-N Dane. I mean, you say it in the context of somebody like almost lowering themselves to do something below their station, or Oh, okay. It says, do something that one considers to be beneath one's dignity. Or to think fit or in accordance with one's dignity. Condescend. Anyway, Dane.
Dane.
Word. I made a joke. I know, I ruined it. I completely ruined it by explaining it that much. I should have just said it and let it hang there. But I didn't think anybody, you know, if people are watching on YouTube or maybe even on the stream, they don't know that you're from Denmark, so then they don't understand what the joke is, see? But yeah, I butchered it. I butchered it. It's so dead. It's so dead. Alright, let's just click this button right now and win the game. I won the game.
I'll remember that.
No, I would never. The Devourer will surely break through his defenses on its own.
He licks his lips, glancing at his followers out of the corners of his eyes.
Perhaps you're right. Give it time, sweet time, for Ioxu's defenses to crumble. Then the bloom will dissolve him bit by bit. A more satisfying end than brute violence, yes?
He nods, his decision made.
We will watch and wait, and I shall record his end in scripture when it comes.
Farewell. So I guess I just concluded this because Inkpot is no longer a threat to Ioxu. I should tell Ioxu what happened. The only thing I'm concerned about as far as Ioxu is... See, this seems like one of those quests that would have resolved itself in a bad way if I'd rested. You know, once or twice or 3 times or whatever. Why are your characters having a golden shower? It's the inspiration thing. It's because my character has steady leadership and ability to keep calm in danger. Because of that, for some reason, everyone's got a yellow fucking glow on them. And it makes that horrible sound until I change maps anyway. I don't get it. I don't understand why Inspiring Presence has to have a weird graphic like that. I guess just to let you know, they're really inspired.
Done.
Alright, let's talk to Ioxu. This is so lovely. Nice house, really. I think I saw this place on one of those shows where they buy houses and fix them up.
I'm going.
The only thing I'm concerned about with this guy is that his machine here that's keeping out the bloom it said it was breaking down. Over time it was going to break down and it wouldn't be good any longer. That it was being strained, you know, past its limits or whatever. So this thing is going to break at some point, and then the bloom is just going to kill him. I want to find a way to solve that. But I don't know if I'll be able to. Alright, Ioxu. I got news for you, pal. With your weird-ass voice.
You disturb me again. What great matter calls for your interruption?
Well... The Bloom cultists have agreed to leave you alone.
Making a note.
25 XP.
Doubts rise within.
His left eye goggles at you momentarily.
Extraordinary claims demand proof.
He steps to the door and peers outside. He waits for a moment, closes the door, and turns back to you.
They had regarded this home and Ioxu, but their clamor ended. Tight smiles color their faces, and no longer do they hurl imprecations. My gratitude, I believe, is in order.
Yeah, I'll accept your gratitude in the form of sweet-ass items. Oh, an encephalon of subjugating revivification sounds awesome.
Accept this. Let no debt stand.
He presses something small into your hands. Tell me about that. Wait, hold on. What do we got here? Oh, wow. Reanimate a corpse. Worst voice ever, I know. That's not what you said, but I'm translating it into truth. This undulating mass of metallic tendrils resembles nothing so much as a sea flower sculpted from woven steel. Parting the wriggling metal ropes reveals the nucleus, a knotted metallic brain whose every fissure pulses with faint green light. When placed in close proximity to any intact corpse, the object's tendrils will bury deep into the recesses of the dead being's body. Within moments, the encephalon will be completely subsumed into the host, who will arise a mindless thrall awaiting purpose. That is pretty neat. Tell me about the device in the center of the room again. Yeah, he doesn't say anything new about it. There's no way I can be like, yo, dude. Your shit is fucked up. I'm gonna give that to her for now, so that I keep a slot free. How do you do it without cracking up? I don't know. I guess I'm just awesome that way. Alright, we're done with the IX2 for now. Hopefully he's still alive later for us to come back and buy stuff from him.
Let's go.
Big pot.
We await the bloom's judgment of Ioxu,
He whispers, eyes shining feverishly.
Here we'll stay until the blasphemous measurer is punished, or the devourer calls us to its heart.
Farewell. Alright. Well. I don't know what to do with these scriptures. I'm just gonna hold on to them for now. We can go up here. Or we can go over here. Guess we'll go over here.
Learning begets doing. Or is it the other way?
Got a big old yawn. Lascar, there's some kind of alien race. And Erechi.
Like a whisper.
Walks without fear. Oh, there's some, like, halfway invisible person here.
All right.
Who's apparently pretty fearless. So I'm given to understand.
Doing begets learning, I guess.
Alright, hold on. Let's go down this way. So that's gonna take me to Little Niliesh. This sign reads, "This way to Little Niliesh," in a difficult to understand
Trust
scrawl.
and honesty are our bonds.
This place is cool, man.
Yes.
Bloom? This place is legit. This is gonna lead me to the Shrine of Chila. Well, let's talk to Walks Without Fear. He sounds interesting. This tentacled maw appears to be dead. Its flesh is being reabsorbed into the bloom. I just realized something. You notice how when I press the button to highlight stuff, you get one of these things right here. Magnifying glass icon over something that you can magnifying glass on. But right now we've got this thing. Oh, it is there. It's just hiding underneath the nameplates. Okay. Okay, I see what they did there. Let's talk to Walks Without Fear. first, you're not sure if your eyes are playing tricks on you. A semi-transparent man shuffles and struts before you, his body fading into and out of incorporeality. His once fine clothes have rotted away. His long beard looks to be host to any number of small vermin, and his eye sockets are disturbingly empty. Oh, okay. She studies the man, mentally subtracting and adding his features, and suddenly gives a sharp intake of breath. She whispers, "Can it be?" Somehow the man hones in directly on your face, and you have the unnerving feeling that he can see more than what's on the surface. The staring sockets are deep and cavernous, as if they contain depths and space beyond the confines of his skull. He says nothing to you. Is this guy the old Memavira? That's the only person I could think of that Matt Keena might react to like that. We'll see, though. Matt Keena, who is this man? Boom! Called it! Oh my god. I am on this shit. I am on it. This is the old Memavira. Don't you see? This man knows all the secrets of the bloom. He was tied to it, bonded to it. I worked for him for years, alongside that bitch who occupies the position now. When he disappeared, she threw me out. Looked for him for a long time. She turns her attention to the bearded man. Sir? Sir, it's Matt Keena. You called me the White Death, remember? Oh, that's right, he literally disappeared, they said. Turns his cavernous eye sockets to her, and they study her for a long time, considering. Life begins to seep into his face, and a small smile creeps across his lips.
I think I remember, but memories are lost in the telling.
Thinks again.
Better to tell it now and have the story remembered. You say I am the old Memavira, so we must speak of the new to understand my tale.
He's gonna tell us a tale. His lips part in a feral smile as he grasps at the last memories in his mind.
The new Memavira. Pah! What has she done worth mentioning? Who trembles at her voice? Tell me, who fears her steps? Who among her people wouldn't slip a blade into her back? Oh, she did for me, it's true, her and her coterie, but I had loyal retainers to the end. Loyalty and fear, like a fist. She may have taken my place, but she'll never match my rule.
I ain't gotta be bitter about it, bro.
If the bloom hadn't turned against me after my decade in power, I'd be there still. But she dragged me to the heart of the beast and let it sift through my mind, fed it all my crimes, and then she left me there.
He swallows.
Ask your questions of me, while the fragments of memories still linger. Ask now and make the questions count.
Okay. So new Memavira took old Memavira to the heart of the bloom and was like, "Get eaten, son." Tell me about your reign as the Memavira. He smiles, a cruel thing almost lost in his beard.
I lived with my knife in my hand. I never lost my love for its kiss. I took what I wanted and I shared with the best of my crew. But I had laws, mind you. Laws and strictures that kept the merchants pouring through the bloom. No sense in scaring off the easy meat. No need to be greedy. They said I was weak, but that was because they didn't know how strong I truly was. And that's why the bitch came for me. Too grasping she was.
Her face is more animated than you have ever seen it. You recall when we came down on the Repcod and their trade in sense stealers? Plugged their leader into his own machine and the feedback melted his eyes, and then the rest of them. You said something to the bloom and the floor wrapped around their ankles, and you had us go back to feed them for years until their legs atrophied away. That sounds pretty cold.
Matt Keener, my white death, is that you? I do remember that.
He starts laughing, a hollow, ragged, terrible sound, a disused engine choked on pain.
I remember that. You were magnificent that day.
Turns back to you.
Quick, ask another question.
What do you think of the new Memavira? Well, he hates her, obviously. I mean, that's sort of a silly question at this point, but he snarls.
A backstabbing harlot, a scheming whore. She couldn't hope to hold what I'd built. She has a talent for brutality, but no mind for structure. Even if I've forgotten her, I'll laugh when the bloom devours her.
Alright, so he's not a fan, in other words. How did the new Memavira unseat you?
She knew that the bloom was angry with me. She told me she'd been below and had seen something that she thought might explain why I lost my bond. I didn't know she'd hidden her killers around the bloom, or that she was the one who'd ruined shipments or driven off the citizens. She'd put her muscle into play, and I never even saw it. And she took me to the heart of the bloom.
He swallows. So it sounds like the new Memavira is actually pretty fucking cunning. And dude just got beat. When you went down, her thugs moved in. They killed everyone in the fortress who had sworn for you. They hunted us down in the belly of the bloom. They cast us through maws under unfamiliar suns. I fled into the city with a few of your lieutenants, and we had to kill some of our friends to get through the gates. And once we'd settled in up there, she started hunting us in the city, too. She shakes her head. She casts aside years of tradition to hunt me. I'd have sworn loyalty when you died. That's why Matt Keenan was hiding out in the Cave of Last Words.
Nothing you could have done. Nothing. She was bold and fast.
What happened in the heart of the bloom?
The memories slip. Light skittering down a tunnel. As I grab at them, they go. No.
His voice pleads.
Stop them. They're me.
Kind of feel bad for this guy, even though he was a total asshole when he was alive. A look of pity crosses her face. She catches your gaze and she shakes her head and looks away. "Know his pain," she says. "No." Who are you? Really? At this point? The sockets stare into you for a moment while he considers. At last he shakes his head and says,
I do not know. I have language, and I have the memory of muscles, but I do not remember how I came by these truths. What I remember is waking in the depths of the bloom. I remember walking. I remember years of darkness before I emerged into the upper reaches at last.
Tell me who you are again.
I cannot remember.
What happened to you?
The bloom took my old life from me. I woke in its beating heart and gestated there while it digested my memories. I remember being terrified, but I do not remember what terrified means.
See, now that's tricky. That's always tricky. He shakes his head to clear it. I had a name. I had a body. I had emotion and a life outside of this form. But I do not remember any of those things now. I do not remember fear. I am reborn in a new life. I am free. What are you doing here? I walk through this larger part of me and let it guide my steps. The weapons of humans mean nothing to this shape, and the paths of the bloom open for me. I am a part of the bloom. It is a part of me. I have been to places others have never seen, and I have seen worlds that lie waiting beyond the Mars. Sounds like this guy would know a lot of interesting stuff. Tell me again what you're doing here. I am speaking to you. The past is gone, devoured by hungry time. Man, that hungry time, always eating everything. Eating me out of house and home. You came from the depths of the bloom. What did you see down there? If I speak of them, the memories disappear from me forever. Yet thoughts themselves are ephemera, like our lives. Gone, and only those we choose to share have any hope of continuation. But even that memory is vanity. In a generation, who will remember these words? His socketless eyes look away, and then back again. He smiles gently. Let me tell you what I saw. Oh, he's got all kind of stuff to tell me about now. Now we're getting into it. Giving me the intel. The bloom reaches through dimensions and across realities. What did I see? I saw a vast beating heart. I traveled through skeins of the bloom's arteries and its viscera. I stood in open Mars and looked out across alien landscapes where lost soldiers mourn for home, or crystal fields glitter under distant stars. I walked through the slave block where great Sheila staged a revolution. What would you know? I have a feeling if this little speech of his went on any longer, he would have been talking about glittering sea beams and shit. Attack shifts off Orion. Alright. Tell me of the heart. The great chamber, the place where the bloom spawns and devours its voices, where its whispers gather in conclave, where its intelligence is strongest and sharpest. I woke. Woke? There. And I knew it for my master. Sounds like an interesting place to go. Tell me of the heart again. I no longer remember. Ephemeral are memories. Once told, they are forever forgotten. Tell me of the bloom's viscera. The gullet. That is its name among the bloom guides. A place of veins and flesh where the memories of the bloom's chosen, where they are digested. Echoes wander the place, echoes of the eaten. I think he's one of these echoes of the eaten. He holds a hand to his head as if pained. I mean, more of the bloom's viscera. Oh, he just already said this about the other thing. Tell me about the sailors. Lascars, they call themselves. Oh, there's a couple of them standing right here. Holding fast to their history because they fear they have forgotten. Old luxury and guilt banisters. Banisters is spelled wrong. Are their prison bars. They sound interesting. Let me guess. He can't remember? Yeah, alright. What about the slave block?
Sheila was born there. Not physically, but her legend. The first Memovira.
Ah, Chilla was the first Memavira. Interesting. Now we're learning some lore. He forces out this last word with an effort and a spray of intangible spittle. A wince on his face.
She spoke to the bloom and it answered her. The monument to her strength is a murdered nest now.
Okay, fucking Murdens always coming in. Burden everything up. Tell me again. He's gonna say he doesn't remember. Okay. I want to hear about the Crystal Fields.
A great plateau whose towers bedazzle the eye. Lightning flickers among the towers and strange silicate beings tunnel beneath the glassy surface. There have I watched children of stars and information speak to one another through dancing colors.
Children of Stars and Information. That sounds like a really cool place. Have you been to any of those places?
No. I stand at the tip of the tendril and watch the landscape pass by as the great devourer prepares to latch itself to another world. Why would I ever step outside my host? I am without danger here. Each day, another piece of myself slips away.
I know those feels, man. I do. Son, are you still here? Let me ask you about something else.
If I can recall the answer.
Farewell. Black 3. Her voice is quiet, reverent. Never dreamed. Power in this place. If I could tame it, make its strength mine. Oh, she really wants to be the Memavira. She wants to be the Memavira bad. I don't think I want to encourage this. What power did you see? Would you sacrifice centuries of life for a few years of this? You saw the price. I don't know the strength my boss had. I didn't know what he had. You could work wonders with that strength. You could destroy everyone who ever opposed you. That really worked out for him. That's an amazing line. That sounds like something I would have said to her in real life. But what you have to go through to get it. No, I think I'm gonna do it. That really worked out for him. You don't get it, do you? For a time, he was one of the most powerful people in the world, and few even knew who he was. He burned bright and fast. She considers, but you're right. If we survive this, it's a skist trade. Fine. You've convinced me with your fancy sarcasm. Let's make sure we stop the sorrow then, yeah? Come on. She bows to the old man. Farewell to you, sir. I wonder if the different conversations I had with Makina, where I'm convincing her to be one way or another, will have an effect on the end of the game, like if she'll, go on to, in the epilogue or something, to go on to become the Memavira if you can encourage her to, or go on to do something else. If not, I don't know. We'll see.
Farewell.
Walked Without Fear was certainly an interesting character. Meeting Matkina's old boss, the old Memavira. Let's try talking to Matkina now. Tell me about the Memavira again. Okay, this is talking about the current Memavira. Alright. Nothing new there. So, Arechi, Lascar, Lascar. Signpost. Walks without fear. That's the way to where the Murdens are. An enormous statue of a woman wielding a hammer stands here, its lower half lost to shadow in the depths of the bloom. Oh my god, this is the head of the statue. I'm on the head of the statue. No, but I'm like, where's this statue they're talking about? The statue's enormous. Look, this is the face. Eyeball, nose, ear, hair hanging down, big hair on top. Shoulder. Oh, she's even got a collar around her neck with broken chain links from when she was a slave, you know? That's pretty cool. Where's the hammer? Oh. That's her arm. That's her hand. That's the haft of the hammer right there. That's her other hand. The head of the hammer must be up here somewhere. Alright, we're gonna talk to these Lascars and such. And Irechi. Lascars. I don't even know what kind of voice a Lascar is gonna have. I need to end this episode though real quick. If you're watching on YouTube, don't go anywhere. Okay, what? A second ago, I mean seriously, like a minute ago, I looked over and it said I had 20 viewers on Twitch. I look over right now, it says I have 3. What is going on with you, Twitch? What is even going on? And the thing is, both of those numbers are probably wrong. Stop! Hammer time! Hammerhead statue, yeah. Son, have you, experienced much memory loss with your condition, the condition that we share? Because I have. I've had a lot of memory loss, especially at times in my life when I was really manic or when I got into like psychotic symptoms and was hallucinating or whatever. I have a lot of memory loss associated with those times, and even with times that wasn't quite like that. Yeah, it sucks. That was my point. It sucks. I wasn't sure if that applied to you as well or if it was just me. Like, I have friends from way back in the day that will tell me stories of things that happened, and I'll be like, I do not remember that at all. I literally do not remember that thing happening. And they're like, and they can tell me the whole story of what happened. I mean, something that involved me, obviously. It's pretty crazy. Anyway, I'm gonna end this episode now. If you're watching the stream, do not go anywhere because I am not done playing. Watch it on YouTube. This episode is now over. So thank you for watching. This has been Josiah Plays Torment, Tides of Numenera.